This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV, Day 3, CloudEXPO West in Santa Clara. We're sitting here with an old friend or a new friend or a great friend, Sebastian Scheele with Lotse.de. He's come all the way from Germany to teach people here about Kubernetes. Sebastian, thank you for coming over. It's good to see you. I'm losing my voice because it's getting near the end of the show. What are you going to talk about at your workshop?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me to the conference. I will talk at the workshop about what is Kubernetes and give the attendees an overview to start with Kubernetes, deploy their first application on Kubernetes and show the concepts how Kubernetes is working and how you do things with Kubernetes and what are the benefits of Kubernetes.
How much interest is there in Kubernetes today compared to a year ago or 2 years ago?
I think there's now a huge interest in Kubernetes. So a year ago there were more like rumors or people talking about it, but now it's really getting people starting implementing it and really using Kubernetes. There are also a lot of customers who are using Kubernetes in production. I was last year at the KubeCon, and when you ask there who are using it in production, there were only 1 or 2 people who say, yeah, I'm using it only with a few servers. And now really I already know a lot of customers from us who are using it in production with hundreds of servers where they run the application on top of it.
Hundreds of servers?
Yeah, hundreds of servers.
Okay. And so the future, it's interesting because I think it comes out of Google, right? So it hasn't come out of nowhere, but it does seem like the growth has been like very fast.
Yeah, that's really interesting because like when you compare it to virtual machines, it takes really quite a long to adapt this. But with Kubernetes, Google has a long history about building such a system, and they now decide, okay, how would we do it when we write it completely from scratch? And so because of the trust in Google developed their systems, and now also a lot of different other companies are stepping into it, like Red Hat, Mirantis, and really it's a community-driven product, and so really a lot of people are looking into it and saying, hey, probably that's a choice for the future.
You do meetups in Germany in your sort of spare time. What were your meetups focused on this year?
Our meetups in general are focused on getting users on stage and get the word out how people are using Kubernetes and what are best practices, what is working well, and also like what's not working well, or what decisions they made which were probably not the best way, and where they now move to a way, okay, this is now working better.
I was going to Germany almost a generation ago looking at enterprise IT. I know that things have changed a lot, but in general in that market, I remember people, if they think something is a toy, they don't want to use it. And for years people thought Unix was a toy. And then finally they understood that there were some alternatives. This is during the client-server era. That was maybe a better alternative to the national computer companies that they had, Siemens and Nixdorf. What's the atmosphere today compared to the U.S.? Do you think the interest is as high in the sort of cloud and open source and everything that goes with it, or is there still a little bit more of, well, we need to look at it more carefully?
I think comparing Germany to US, I think Germany it's like 1 or 2 years behind, especially when you're talking about cloud computing. You all have the regulations which were sometimes not clear. Okay, if I'm allowed to run it on Google Cloud, Amazon Cloud, what is with my data? But in general, yeah, the companies now starting adapting it and using it because they see really the benefits of the cloud and the open source, and really say, okay, no, I don't want to have this vendor stick. I want to have freedom that I can choose. Okay, I want to have an open source product, and so I won't be able to use it on my own. And I really see it's really changing, and people now really adapting it fast and want to move in this direction.
Yeah, things are a lot more dynamic, and the world seems a little bit smaller in a good way in this case. So Lotse.de, is that correct?
Yeah, Lotse.de or Lotse.com, both is correct.
Loodse.
Exactly.
.de or .com. Go there, learn more about Sebastian and what he's doing. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks a lot for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.